Hello everyone, I am back from TFcon LA, and I just had to share it with you. But before I do, I need your help. My friend Nin is looking for an editor. So if any of you have video editing skills and can help Nin with his channel, please contact him on Twitter at NindragoTheHero. I would really appreciate it. And now, back to my TFcon LA trip. So, since I already did a bunch of in-character stuff as my OC in Titan Master form on Twitter, I figured I'd do this video as myself. So, if you want to read the whole story about my OC's visit to TFcon, as well as galaxies far, far away, head over to Twitter and follow me there. Like my tweets and do all that other fun stuff, and maybe I'll do something like that again. But onto this video. I left from Toronto Pearson Airport, and I was happy to discover this pride flag. So, of course, I had to take a picture of it. What made me even more happy was the fact that I kept getting called ma'am by the airport staff. I would have been even more happy if they called me miss, but hey, I'll take it. The fact that I can pass for female when I haven't even started hormones yet, and I'm not even dressed in feminine clothing, that was a pleasant surprise whenever it happened. More on that throughout the video. So anyways, after a couple of long flights, I eventually got to Los Angeles. I got to the hotel with my roomie, and I got ready for the next day. The next day being my trip to Disneyland and California Adventure, or at least part of it. Disney was very busy. I think in part due to their March break or spring break, whatever they call it in the States. And a lot of people, like 99.99% of people there, were not wearing masks at all. So I was pretty worried that I might catch the big V down there. I'm not sure if you can actually say the name of the thing on YouTube still without getting demonetized. And trust me, I definitely need the money after this very expensive trip. But anyways, I was worried about catching that, but I kept my mask on, even double masked at some points, and look, I'm back in Canada, my home and native land, safe and sound. Although there was a scare at the airport on the way back, where they were reading the wrong date on the test, but luckily at the last minute they figured it out. So yeah, my first stop was obviously Galaxy's Edge. Well, first was technically Cinderella's Castle, then Galaxy's Edge. But anyways, it was fun. The Millennium Falcon ride was okay. There was kind of a rude family in front of me, or should I say behind me, that basically forced me and the other person there to be in the engineer seats, the most boring positions in the ride. But hey, at least I was able to capture this footage for you all. Hopefully next time I go, I'll have a few friends with me, and we won't have to deal with people like that. Maybe we'll even do that cheat where Chewie flies the Falcon for you. I thought about doing the build the droid thing, but I have limited space in my suitcase. Mainly due to the fact that this is a longer trip than usual for TFcon. I did have breakfast at the park. I had a breakfast Ronto wrap. It was okay. I didn't really like the sauce on it, and the eggs tasted like those instant powdered eggs, not real eggs. It was really cool to see the Millennium Falcon life-size and in person. The only costume character I saw was Kylo Ren up on the catwalk. No stormtroopers, no Rey, no, whoever that other girl is, and no Chewie. Aww. I was so sad that I didn't get to meet Chewie. Mostly because I miss my own dog Chewie. So I probably would have just started crying if I saw the original Chewie there. So maybe it was for the best that I didn't. I was planning to do the build your own lightsaber experience thing, but again, I have no suitcase space. And I felt like if I'm going to pay $220 US to assemble my own lightsaber, I should have someone there to share that experience with. So maybe next time I'll have someone with me. Who knows? Maybe even a girlfriend or boyfriend. Although, what if they want to build their own lightsaber too? I wanted to go on the Rise of the Resistance ride, but the wait time was 90 minutes. There's no way I'm waiting 90 minutes for a ride. But there was the option to pay $20 to skip the line, which I tried to do, but I don't know if it's because I have a Canadian credit card or what, but it would not accept it. So sadly, no Rise of the Resistance. Again, maybe next time. After Galaxy's Edge, I went and explored the rest of Disneyland. I kept walking by this massive line of people, and it didn't occur to me until much later what this was. It was where the Pirates of the Caribbean ride was. I couldn't even see the ride, there were so many people around it. So I went on the Jungle Cruise. It was fine. If you've been on it before, they always tell the same corny jokes. So it's like if you've been on it once, you've been on it 1,000 times. Although some of the people in line were pretty rude. There were 2 young girls in front of me eating what seemed like half a restaurant, and one of them nearly dropped a chicken wing full of sauce on my new shoes. And then a little girl was swinging on the rope that divides the line, and she kicked me right in the shin. Her mother was not paying attention at all, which seemed to be a very common issue in this Disneyland trip. Parents not watching their children, and people being very rude and ignorant of those around them. It kind of put a damper on the whole experience. So yeah, I walked around some more. I went on the Star Tours ride. That was actually really fun. I should have went on it again. Apparently you can get multiple different rides. Like there's an original trilogy ride, a prequel trilogy ride, and a sequel trilogy ride. I got the sequels one. Oh yeah, this whole Disneyland trip seemed to have been jinxed. Because first the app wouldn't accept my Canadian credit card, then when I went to go buy a frozen lemonade, the girls' register wouldn't open. And I had to wait for like 10 or 20 minutes for someone to come over before they were eventually like, "Here, you have your lemonade, just take your money back, sorry for the wait." So hey, at least I got free lemonade out of it. I also tried the Dole Whip later on, because I heard that Dole Whip is a big thing there. I tried it. It just kind of tastes like a pineapple sundae, which, I love a pineapple sundae, but it's not the greatest thing in the world like they hyped it up to be. I mean, if so, then they should try gelato sometime. It'll blow their minds. So yeah, I watched the parade, and then I headed over to the Avengers campus in California Adventure. I arrived just in time to see Spidey do his thing. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, so that was kind of a treat, although at the end, after they have the animatronic do the big swing, he's supposed to climb down the wall, but he didn't climb down the wall, he just kind of appeared at the bottom. So that was a little disappointing. Maybe they had a safety issue with the wall crawling harness? I wanted to go see the Doctor Strange show, mainly because Doctor Strange is kind of hot, but the line was insane. People were lined up for at least the next 3 or 4 shows. I did, however, see some other costume characters though, none of them up close, however. And so, after having some overpriced pasta at Pim's Test Kitchen, which, by the way, there was absolutely nowhere to sit. Another problem with this trip. No seating anywhere. Seems to be a common issue at these parks. I guess I was lucky to find one early in the morning. So, after I shopped at the Avengers store, which is not in the Avengers section of the park, by the way, it's in the Hollywood section for some reason, but I ended up not buying anything there anyways. Then I headed back over to Disneyland to try and get a little more fun out of all the money that I spent on these tickets. So I tried to go on the Winnie the Pooh ride, and just before I'm about to go on the ride, it breaks down and they close it for the night. Again, I must have been jinxed. So that was basically my time at Disneyland and California Adventure. Very disappointing. I mean, I didn't even mention the fact that the Indiana Jones show and Toontown, or whatever they call it, were closed. Those were some of the non-Star Wars, non-Marvel things that I was really looking forward to, and I couldn't do them. A lot of the other attendees were pretty rude and their kids were just running amok. So, not a great first impression of Disneyland. I was tempted to buy a Disneyland Pride pin as a souvenir, but between this and me recently hearing that Disney was supporting some kind of anti-gay law in the States, I decided not to give them any more of my money. Fortunately, the next day, Universal Studios was a lot better. When the park eventually opened, I booked it towards the Transformers section. I originally intended to go to the studio tour ride first, but I somehow got lost. And it's funny, I was taking pictures of the Nest vehicle when this woman comes up to me and asks me a question thinking that I'm staff. I think it's because I had my red vest on. Oh, by the way, I was dressed up as my OC at Disneyland and Universal Studios. So just imagine her at the parks, okay? Oh, and I forgot to mention, the same thing happened to me at Disneyland too. The second I got into the park, a man came up to me thinking that I was staff. Maybe I should have pretended that I was staff. Maybe I could have snuck onto the Rise of the Resistance ride for free. Oh well, maybe next time. I did walk around the vault, which is what they call the Transformers gift shop. There was some interesting stuff there. I picked up a couple pins, as well as some other things that will be gifts for some friends who I wish could have come with me. But they watch my videos, so I don't want to reveal what they are. I want it to be a surprise when I eventually see them at TFcon Toronto. It felt very appropriate that they had the Jurassic Park Transformers crossover set there, especially since the Jurassic World section is right next door. I wanted to get some plushies because they were so cute, but again, limited space. Same for some of the clothes. Next time I will definitely pack a second carry-on. And hopefully I'll be able to fit into some of these cute girl clothes. But yeah, I think I've talked long enough for you to see most of this store. Now let's take a break from me and give you a taste of the Transformers character meet and greet thingy.
Go for entry. All watch copy.
Transforming now.
Autobots, roll out! Living a beautiful day is never good. The door man and singing with you, brave heroes. My name is Optimus Prime. Leader of the Autobots, and friend to all sentient beings. This morning, I come to you as one, but my step is 10,000. For the past several years, an advanced team of Autobots has taken refuge here. Together, we formed an alliance with humans much like you. A secret but brave squad of soldiers. The classified strike team known as Nest. Together with their help, we search for what remains of Megatron 2. Hiding in plain sight, and what to believe. Today, humans, only our worlds apart. We stand united as one. The time has come, freedom fighters. It's time we move some metal and roll.
So yeah, unfortunately, I didn't go up and meet Optimus Prime and Bumblebee. I'm still really shy about having my picture taken. Maybe after my own transformation, I'll be more willing to. But yeah, not right now. Then I finally went on the studio backlot tour ride. And this is where I had the highlight of my trip to Universal Studios. Last time I went here, they did not take us by the Hill Valley Town Square, and I was very upset. You know how much of a Back to the Future fan I am, but this time they did! And I was so happy I was almost crying. Seriously, I wanted to jump out of the vehicle in order to take a selfie and even more pictures there. But I didn't want to potentially get banned from ever coming back. Maybe one day I'll have the money to do the really expensive tour where they actually let you walk around. Ah, someday. We did get to see some of the Back to the Future vehicles though. Not the DeLorean, mainly just Biff's car and some of the 2015 cars, as well as some cars from the Fast and the Furious franchise and the Jurassic Park franchise, as well as this section where the dinosaurs have escaped. So, wait, are they supposed to be real dinosaurs? I thought this was a backlot tour. Oh well. I noticed it too late, or rather the guide mentioned it too late, but you might be able to see it in this photo, but at the back of this parking lot is Bumblebee and Barricade, the actual Bumblebee and Barricade cars from the movie. Between wanting to get better shots of them and get more shots of Hill Valley, I almost wanted to go on this ride again, but sadly I didn't. Then I went on the Jurassic World ride. It was pretty fun, although I got totally soaked at the end. Luckily, this is LA and it's pretty warm this time of year, so I was wet for a little while, but eventually I dried. After that, I walked through the Harry Potter section. Not a huge Harry Potter fan, especially not with J.K. Rowling being a gigantic raging transphobe. So yeah, I didn't stick around there very long. I thought there was supposed to be a dragon there. I didn't see one. I wanted to make a joke about how it looks like Predaking or Megatron or something on Twitter, but yeah, I didn't see it there. Oh yeah, I was reminded that they're actually building a Nintendo section in Universal Studios, and I guess this is where it is, in behind the Jurassic World section. But of course, everything is covered up. So yeah, just more character meet and greets. There was Shrek and Fiona, the Scooby-Doo gang, Hello Kitty, aww, so cute, Dracula. Oh, a kid tripped over a sign while he was talking to Dracula, which is the same time that I took these pictures. So that was kind of funny. And I basically finished off the day by seeing the 2 shows that they have and getting something to eat. First was the Animal Actors Show. They were so cute. There were so many cute dogs and cats and birds and other animals. They were so adorable. I highly recommend that show. Then I grabbed a bite from Luigi's Pizza in the Simpsons section. I was going to get a Krusty Burger, but they were super busy. I guess everybody gets a Krusty Burger because that's one of the main food items that The Simpsons is known for. It'd be like if there was a SpongeBob section, you would have to go get a Krabby Patty. But again, no seating. Please, people, build more places to sit and eat in your parks. And then to close out the day was Waterworld. It's a good show, especially if you haven't seen it before. I really like how the actors give it their all and interact with the audience. But do you need to see it more than once or twice? Probably not. So that was Universal Studios Hollywood. Much more enjoyable of an experience than Disneyland was, surprisingly. I thought for sure it would be the reverse, but I was pleasantly surprised. A lot less crowded, nicer people, and nothing closed. And I got to see Hill Valley. That was the highlight of my trip, at least so far. So Friday is technically when TFcon starts. But before that, we did a quick run to Target, or as you call them in the States, Target. Grabbed some supplies like water and snacks. Some of the boys grabbed some swim trunks because apparently they forgot to pack any. I can't wait until I'm able to comfortably wear a swimsuit and lounge by the pool with the other girls. Maybe next year. At TFcon itself, on the Friday night, I mainly helped with dealer registration. So when a dealer or artist comes in, we check off their name and take them to their assigned table. That was pretty fun and easy to do. After that, it was mostly just hanging around with people until we got too tired and went to bed, which is what most post-convention nights were. The next day was Saturday, the main day of TFcon. I started off helping with the line and helping direct people where to go. I was also watching out for special guests, and I managed to spot Michael Bell. You may know him as Prowl, or Sideswipe, or Swoop, or Bombshell, or Scrapper, not to mention his countless other voice roles. So I escorted him inside and helped him get to where he needed to go. So that was pretty cool. I wish I had more time to talk to him during the show, just because I love all of his characters that he does. He's such a good actor. Honestly, he's as much a legend as Peter Cullen and Frank Welker. Such a great man. But my main job on Saturday was guest liaisoning, which is basically the person beside the special guest who handles their money for them, takes the pictures with attendees, makes sure that the guest is well looked after, and stuff like that. So if you were there and you met and saw the guests, you might have seen or talked to me and not even realized it. I don't want to say who I was guest liaisoning with because that might be too much of a giveaway, but at least one of them was a woman. And an attendee came up to us and said, "Hello, ladies." She got her autograph and picture and talked to the actress, and then when she left, she said something like, "Thank you, ladies," or "Goodbye, ladies." So just the fact that I was included and accepted and acknowledged as one of the girls, you have no idea how happy that made me. I wanted to cry. But no, I had to keep calm in front of the guest. I didn't want to weird her out by suddenly crying in front of her for seemingly no reason. I also met Kian Carlisle, fellow Transformers YouTuber who was also featured in that Cyberverse shoutout. I posed for a selfie with him, or at least he posed for a selfie with my avatar. I'm still too shy about my appearance to have my picture taken or to meet anyone. Again, probably after my transition I'll be okay with it, but yeah, I am so sorry to all the people who came to TFcon LA and had messaged me wanting to meet me. Trust me, I would have loved to meet you. You're all so sweet and awesome. It's just that I'm not ready yet. Maybe for the next TFcon LA, I'll be ready to present myself as the woman that I know I am. But yeah, Kian was cool. I said hi to him a couple times as we passed by in the hallway, but I was always so busy doing TFcon stuff. I wish I could have had more time to just hang out and chat with him. So then, later, in the green room, where we bring the guests and give them the money that they made, there was Jean Carr, who played Black Arachnia in War for Cybertron. And so I helped her out with that before I went out with my next guest. And she says to me, "Thank you. By the way, what's your name?" And I said, "Oh, my name is..." And I told her my dead name. And for those who don't know, a dead name is a trans person's old name before they transitioned and picked a new one that matches who they are and their gender identity. So I used my old name because, other than that one attendee earlier, I think I'm still presenting fairly male. At least I thought I was. I still haven't come out as trans to most of the other TFcon staff at this point. And I still haven't started hormones yet. That will hopefully happen next month. So I didn't want to make anything awkward during the show. But anyways, I tell her my dead name, and without missing a beat, she says, "Oh, you look more like a..." And then she hits me right in the heart, like a bullseye, super effective, critical hit, one hit KO, because she amazingly, 100% accurately, guessed my new girl name. I was stunned. I was blown away, shocked, in a state of complete and utter disbelief. Whatever other synonyms you want to use. I had never been so seen in all my life. And it was by Black Arachnia. The freaking lesbian as heck Black Arachnia. Who I already loved as a character for representing some queerness in Transformers. Now I love her voice actress Jean Carr. I love her so much. I wish she could come to every TFcon ever. Thank you, Jean. Thank you so much. I love you. I will continue to love you forever and ever. You are awesome. So yeah, that made my day. Probably my weekend. Maybe even my month. Dare I say year? Well, there's still lots of 2022 to go. The rest of the day was fairly uneventful. Or at least nothing that I can share publicly. You know what they say. What happens at TFcon stays at TFcon. And then Sunday was pretty easy. I did some more guest liaisoning. All the guests I was with were super nice. Some of them even tipped me. So I think I did a good job. This was my first time doing this. I had some free time before the convention ended, so I walked around the dealer room and artist alley. I talked to some of them, just checking if they had a good time at the show, and most of them did. And I picked up a few more presents for those friends that I mentioned earlier who I wish could have come, but for one reason or another just couldn't. And yeah, that was basically the convention. Working, hanging out with friends, meeting a few new ones, and occasionally being seen for the woman that I am. I did have an extra day after TFcon where I went on the Warner Brothers studio tour. It was okay. If you're a big fan of Friends, you'd probably like it. I was excited for a minute because they said they had the Fuller House there. But when we got there, it was literally just the facade. No interior or anything. Which is kind of disappointing. I really liked Full House growing up, and I liked Fuller House. I would have loved to take a selfie in the Tanner's living room, or kitchen, or Stephanie and Michelle's room, anything. But oh well. I saw the water tower, but I didn't see Yakko, Wakko, and Dot. They had some storyboards from The Matrix. That was cool. They also had some stuff from the DC animated universe. Lex Luthor, Superman, Brainiac, the Batwing, the Justice League, and the storyboards for the Batman the Animated Series' opening. Yes, that iconic opening. So that was pretty cool to see. They had a bunch of costumes there. Mars Attacks, the actual cowl worn by Michael Keaton. They had a bunch of costumes from Crazy Rich Asians, which I haven't seen that movie yet, so maybe I should, because a lot of people seem to be going gaga over the wedding dress, which, you know, is a beautiful dress. I hope someday I can wear something half as pretty as that. So yeah, like I mentioned, they had the Friends coffee shop set. They had a couple of the Big Bang Theory sets. Neither of those shows I'm especially fond of. They had some models of the Batmobiles from the old movies. I'm assuming they might have been used in the movies somehow. They also had some models from The Matrix, the mech suit gunner thing, and a Sentinel. So as a fan of the Matrix franchise, that was pretty cool to see. Then we got to the DC section. There they had the Arkham Asylum gate, Harley Quinn's costume. They had the old Uma Thurman Poison Ivy costume. They also had all the costumes from Wonder Woman 88. So they had the Mandalorian guy's costume, they had Cheetah's costume before she went full cheetah, Wonder Woman's outfit, her gold outfit, her beautiful dress, and of course, Steve's fanny pack ensemble. And they had some outfits from the first Wonder Woman movie too. One with her big coat, as well as her Amazonian leather outfit. They were all beautiful. One day I'll be able to dress up as Wonder Woman. They also had Wonder Woman's wings and lasso there for you to take a photo op with. They were beautiful, and I did take a selfie with them, but of course I'm not going to show myself on here. They also had the tumbler from Christian Bale's Batman movies. I tried to get a good shot of it, but it was so dark in there. They also had all the Justice League costumes worn by all the actors. Well, except for Cyborg, because he didn't actually wear this. His costume was all CGI, but they made a mock-up for reference. They also had Shazam, Aquaman, Superman, the Batcycle, a Batwing, although I don't know which one this is from, the original Batmobile, like the actual car, not a model like before. There was also this Batcave screen that tried to make it look like you're actually looking into the Batcave. It was kind of neat, I guess. They had all these capes up on the wall from different Superman movies. And they had the original Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman costumes. So they had Michael Keaton's Batman suit, Christopher Reeve's Superman suit, and Linda Carter's Wonder Woman costume. Or at least one of them. I think she had a few in that show. I also did the sorting hat thing there. Like I mentioned, I'm not a fan of Harry Potter, but I did do it mainly just to find out which house I would be put into. And I managed to get into Gryffindor. So there you go. In case you were wondering, UltraPrimal is a Gryffindorian, or whatever they call themselves. And yeah, just to wrap up, in the gift shop, they had some costumes from the DC TV series. Green Arrow, The Flash, and Supergirl. Aww, another female superhero that I want to dress up as someday. It was kind of funny and cute that there was this group of girls fawning over the Flash's costume. Aww, I love and support my fellow fangirls. But yeah, that was basically it for my big trip to TFcon LA. The only other thing that I'd like to mention is that while I was there, I did come out as trans to a few of the other TFcon staff. I was really worried that I would be rejected or unwelcomed or even kicked off staff for being trans. But no, quite the opposite. Everyone I've told so far has been super awesome, super accepting, super supportive, super nice, and super generous. Words cannot express how much that makes me happy. To be welcomed with open arms, to be able to be me with my friends and fellow staff. It's the greatest feeling in the world. And really, that was the best part of TFcon for me. None of the toys or other souvenirs I got this year, but being able to open up and be accepted by my wonderful friends. That was the best part of this whole trip. So I cannot wait until TFcon Toronto. It's going to be even more fun, more out, more trans, more me. TFcon really is a show for everyone, and I am so proud to be a part of it. And with this year being its 20th anniversary, you can sure there'll be some major surprises in store.